Just one little binger to brighten up your day. Come on, man. Just one hit, then I gotta go.
You asshole.
Up your butt, Joe Boo.
I think we were talking about Major League for something, and I'm like, man, I wish I had a fucking Joe Boo figure, dude, right? So I get a knock on my door, and there's this little package waiting there. This is fucking cool, dude. This is really cool. Check this out. It's fucking Serrano's locker, dude.
Oh shit.
That's cool.
Right? And when you open it up, it's the locker. I got my own fucking Joe Boo.
Nice, dude.
Look at that shit, dude.
That's awesome.
That's awesome, bro. What up, everybody? It is Saturday night. That means another Modern Comic Mayhem show. Crew with me. You guys know how this works. If you got the link, you just join. You come hang out with us. You leave when you got to leave. And we have a good show. Starting off tonight, I got Richie. I got Andy. I got Nate. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to rock. I get to talk some shit about Jacob deGrom not re-signing with the Mets. I know it sucks, dude. It sucks. And we get to talk some more shit about how crazy the comic market is. We get to talk even more shit about the silliness that happened last night on the Hot 10. And we're going to make it a nice and quick and easy show. We're not going to go past 2 hours tonight. I promise you that. We'll see. So thanks to everybody that's hanging out tonight, man. I woke up, I tried to pass out last night feeling like shit, man. And it's just been, I think I'm getting sick again, which sucks. So we're gonna take it nice and easy tonight. But a lot of interesting stuff. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 trailer dropped recently. That looks very interesting. Last of Us trailer dropped. That's very interesting. We have a lot of stuff to talk about that we're going to get into. We got some FOC goodies tonight, and comic books are cheap, you guys. There are some killer deals out there. If you have the disposable income, right now is the time to buy, and we're definitely going to get into that. That's for sure. So shout out to everybody in the chat that's hanging out with us tonight. Appreciate all you guys. Yeah, man, crazy week in comics. Comics just seems to get crazier and crazier. I feel like there's less and less cool things coming out comic wise, but the stories are just, every week there's a new crazy story. And I'm going to start off this show like I started off last night's show. And I made a post. I don't know if you guys saw it on IG yet, but basically, I made a post about the silliness that we witnessed, or I witnessed, and a lot of us witnessed with that guy from Comic Core Productions.
Tim M.
Yeah, Tim M. If you guys haven't seen it, go check it out. It's on my IG. I made a little clip about it. I talked about it last night on the Hot 10. just a lot of silliness. And I want to also state again, Tim, your seat is available for you. If you want to jump in, you want to explain yourself, you want to show your receipts, you make major claims, you need to show receipts. So unless those claims are there, and then on top of it, this, I'm glad I put out this post, because the second I put out the post, I started getting people hitting me up saying like this dude has been scamming for years. This dude, buys, he's got a ton of bots. He buys views and he buys follows and all this crazy stuff. And, again, sometimes, I get it. Sometimes, people get called out for the wrong reasons, and you fix those things, right? If there's claims that are made and they aren't true, you fix those things. And that's what we're asking Tim to do. Like if you're really part of this community and you're really a comic guy, like, back up your claims. Let's see it. I want to see the receipts. I want to see you talking to somebody about paying them to get a book on the Hot 10. I want to see everything that you claimed. I want to see the receipts. If you don't got them, your name is mud, man. Your name is mud. So that being said, go check out the information. Go check out the clip on IG. You guys can find it right there at Brian McClay. You can find the clip. You can go watch the Hot 10 last night. I started off the show with it. You can go watch Thorough's show. Shout out to Thorough. Love Thorough to death. I know he's got a thing that he's doing over there where he kind of feels the same way. He definitely feels the same way. And I respect the hell out of him. I respect the hell out of Hood. Hood was on that show too. I had a feeling, that Hood, you could tell Hood was kind of like, this guy's making some weird claims by the way he was kind of responding to the guy and this and that. And I don't know, man. I think you make claims like that, you need to have proof. So I want to see the proof. And if you don't have the proof, your name's mud, bro. That being said, let's get into some of the fun stuff tonight. Starting off with talking a little bit about Guardians of the Galaxy. Did you guys see the Guardians of the Galaxy trailer? What did you guys think?
I thought my name is Mud. No, I'm kidding. You were saying that as the thing that popped in my head. Damn, RSO got me again. Okay. I actually saw the trailer a few times. Shout out to Topher. If you guys are not aware, Topher's our boy, and he has an article on comicbookinvest.com, and it's regarding True First. Check it out. He's like a brain surgeon, and he's already discipling the alien freaking language and shit. And he posted in the Popcorn Culture chat. So I kind of just alluded or just extended that into the live stream yesterday for my show First Appearance Friday, and we went over the trailer, and it not only looked amazing, but I realized a couple things that I didn't realize before. So let's watch the trailer.
Let's get into it. Let's check it out. Let's get our first copyright strike of the night. Let's get into it.
So far, I've had luck with, as long as I don't play the audio, I've had luck not getting dinged.
Really? I'm going to play the audio. You know what I mean?
I've never gotten dinged. I always play it.
We were gone for quite a while. But no matter what happens next.
Is that the same ship that they've had?
It looks different.
Yeah, it does.
Like
right?
the front, like the cockpit looks somewhat similar, but the rest of the ship does not look the same. So it's got to be different.
Well,
Galaxy still needs
it looks
its
like
Guardians.
it closes. It looks like it closes, and it looks.
Yeah. I love this scene right here where they're walking out wearing those uniforms. Just it reminds me of the comics, which I like. I like how they're throwing that back. But man, this is gonna sound crazy because I'm 100 pounds overweight at least, and I'm talking shit about the way Bautista looks. Bautista looks like he's having a hard time staying in that uniform, man.
Hello, we come in peace.
So
That does not get old.
So that right there, before we get into I'll just spoil it for you guys. Before we get into High Evolutionary, that right there must be Counter Earth, right?
Yes, it has to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
And this scene definitely wigged me out when I first saw it. I was like, what's going on here, man? This is creepy as hell.
No!
His laugh.
I know. That's what I love, dude. I love Bautista as Drax, dude.
Oh,
Again,
Goosebumps,
killing it
right?
with the music. Yeah, killing it with the music. I love how this is what I love about how a lot of these trailers do with the music nowadays. They'll take a great old song that's very recognizable and they'll do that remix to it that kind of slows it down or, adds a little bit of like classical style to it. It's like that new thing they do in trailers. And I fucking love it. I loved when they did it with, what's the show? Stranger Things.
Mm-hmm.
Love when they did it with that. I love when they did. I mean, they've done it. They did it with the Thor movie, right? They just keep doing that cool thing where they find these old songs and they do.
I'm not
cool
sure James Gunn isn't better known for his soundtracks than he is his movies.
Great fucking point.
Because was it Guardians of the
I
Galaxy 2? He had Sweet Fox on the Run, which was the main song on that trailer, which is just perfect.
Yep, I agree.
Don't forget where we came from.
Bro, talk about emotion right there, dude. Right? Like a great way to instantly get emotion in this. And we've been talking about it for a while, how this is like going to be James Gunn's send-off to Rocket, right? The reason he came back to do this movie is 100% about Rocket. He wanted to give Rocket Raccoon like that send-off. He loves that character so much. And instantly seeing this, it's going to be an emotional send-off. And that's a great scene too, with all the different colors, very stylized. Love that.
We have been running our whole lives.
Pete, I'm done running.
It's pretty crazy. It's very interesting. High Evolutionary. I wonder who that is, that chick that's running.
Hey, I've got one question. So would that be the Gamora that doesn't know Peter from
Requiem
Endgame? Yeah. Okay.
Yep. As far as we know. We know.
We'll all fly away together.
Who is that? Let's see here.
White Vision.
No. Cool if it was. It's interesting.
Maybe it's that woman that was running because she has all white hair too, and maybe that's her costume.
Yeah.
One last time. Into the forever and beautiful sky.
That's kind of weird. Like he's reuniting with a was that? It looks like a ferret, or it looks like a
muskrat.
It seems like apparently they have a lot of the Earth species in space: platypuses, ferrets, raccoons.
It looks like a muskrat.
Yeah.
It looks like the cat.
That's pretty crazy. All right.
Oh,
Adam,
metrosexual warlock.
What do you guys think about his look?
That's why I asked. I'm like, who is that? I didn't even connect the two until you mentioned that.
Yeah.
I like it. I like
we
it.
got an Infinity Stone. Hopefully, is that an Infinity Stone in his head?
I guess so, right?
It should be, right?
Who's he? The
He doesn't look gold enough. Like he looks dull.
It does gold. He looks dull. Yeah, like it's a hard tan spray, like spray tan.
Yeah, because and the gem doesn't shine enough. Like it's. And again, maybe it's me being colorblind, but like it's just everything is like matte. Like it should be.
Yes.
It should be a contrast between the jewel and his skin tone.
Paul says supposedly it's the Soul Stone.
Soul Stone. Good call, Paul. Thank you.
So the other thing is there's that famous what is it? Is it a Marvel team up book where it's Adam Warlock and Spider-Man where that Soul Stone first shows up?
Right.
First,
yeah, it's in that run, I believe, right?
Yeah,
Marvel team up or 2-in-1, one of those. I get those confused.
Yeah, 2-in-1 or team up, one of the two. Yeah. So maybe that's a good book. I mean, we've all been talking about that book for ages, but could be something interesting. Looks like a placeholder. That'd be kind of weird. You know what it looks like to me? It looks like what's that guy, that rapper that put the jewel in his forehead? Uzi. Uzi is his name? Uzi something Uzi. Anyways, let's go back to that. I want to see Adam Warlock. Ooh, what's that? All right, let's take a look at Adam Warlock right there. Nothing you can really see there. Just him getting mad. It's cool. He's got a cape. I like the cape. Little Uzi Vert. Thank you, Rainbow Randolph. Little Uzi Vert. Have you guys seen that? Check this out. Forehead. This dude had a $24 million diamond put in his forehead. Okay.
Not his bank account, his forehead.
Yeah, his forehead. Okay. And somebody ripped it out of his forehead. Check this out. Look at this dude.
What?
Yeah. $24 million pink diamond embedded in his forehead.
But why?
Because he
looks good. I mean, look at the guy. He looks great. Between his teeth that look like he's hasn't brushed.
Does anybody instantly go to like the Diablo Soulstone? Remember Diablo, the video game with the Soul Stones and the.
Yeah. Dude, this is ridiculous.
Takes different strokes to move the world.
Yeah.
I think he got gypped for 24 million because I can't imagine there's many carats behind it. Oh my god, it sticks out.
Wow, it looks heavy.
Hold on, let me mute this. Yeah, dude. Look at it, dude. 10 carat pink diamond. And the skin had to grow back around it. It looks offset too. It doesn't look like it's centered correctly.
It looks like it's closer to the right.
That's called custom, sir.
It says Piercer Sean Dodell told GQ that it's possible to embed gems pretty much anywhere on the body using small metal posts with a thin, wide base that gets anchored under the skin. This technique, which is called microdermal or transdermal implants, exposes a threaded post that jewelry can be screwed onto. Oh, dude. It says Uzi, however, seems to be using what's called a surface piercing to get the diamond into his face. A surface piercing, which can also be done just about anywhere on the body, looks a little like an upside down staple. The needle pierces the skin, makes a 90-degree turn, and emerges an inch or so out from where it's entered. Surface piercings are typically not connected on the outside. What the fuck, dude? Oh my god. Anyways, yeah. Jesus. Let's get back to the thing. That's a badass scene with all the different limbs. I'm just glad Groot's adult again. Me too.
Kill anyone who gets in our way.
No, not kill anyone.
Kill a few people.
Kill no people.
Kill one guy, one stupid guy who no one loves.
Now you're just making it sad.
So good, man. So good. I'm excited.
You're right,
for this.
Batista does look like he's swollen, not from going to the gym.
Exactly.
No, he looks like he needs to take estrogen blockers because he is blowing up like a fucking balloon, bro. Hit me up, bro. I'll even get you some Butte.
It looks good, man. I'm excited for it. I'll be honest.
He's a lot better actor too, I think.
It's just weird. Did Chris Pratt look a little off too?
I think he was supposed to, though, right? Because you could tell, like, it's supposed to be painful for him, not with Gamora being the way she is, and you can tell he's supposed to be really off. There's that scene where he's showing all the emotion, and you could tell this is going to be I think this is going to be funny. We all know it's going to be funny, but I also think it's going to be very emotional. And I think that's good. I think that's really good. I think that's what we want. The same way with Ant-Man. You can tell Ant-Man Quantumania is going to be very dramatic instead of funny. And I love that. I love that. Aaron K says, he needs some Liver King juice. Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
So apparently, Marvel Studios spoiled the big surprise in the movie during the synopsis, the latest, the updated version of the synopsis. So are we doing that here?
Yeah, let's hear it.
So basically, you could just do a quick Google search, but Star-Lord is Mantis's brother.
What?
It should be confirmed in the movie, because in the synopsis it talks about how not full but half, because they have the same dad in the MCU, Ego the Living Planet, right? So that's her father too. So they're going to reveal that. I don't think they've revealed that yet. They just he just thought, everybody just thought, based on Kurt Russell's line, however he said it, that he just kept her around so he could sleep. So
I was trying to think back to the second one, if there was any indicator, like, some kind of preliminary or premonition where
okay, my bad. Sorry. Go ahead, Nate. Sorry.
No, just trying to think back if there was something that was, that when she was trying to put him to sleep and she was saying how powerful he was, if there was anything that she, any notes or hints that she would have maybe picked up that her and Peter were brothers, or brother and sister.
I haven't seen the Christmas special yet. So this is a recent article. It came from Murphy's Multiverse or the Direct, but they were talking about the synopsis in the Guardians of the Galaxy after the first trailer spoiled the announcement. So I guess it was supposed to be a holiday special. My bad.
It's interesting. It's what do you guys think? Let's talk a little bit of spec into this whole thing. You guys know me. I love Marvel Cosmic. I'm stoked to see any type of Marvel Cosmic stuff showing up. I consider this Marvel Cosmic. And I think that we're going to get, when this is all said and done, I think most of us realize this, that we're going to get a whole new team, right? They're going to continue Guardians of the Galaxy some way with a new team. Hopefully including Adam Warlock. I would love to see Nebula be part of that team.
I think you see people like Moondragon, stuff like, people like that.
Yeah, that's a good call. There's been, even Cosmic Ghost Rider gets in there, right?
Oh yeah.
Last 3-4 years, but and shout out to Donnie Cates. He was at LA Comic-Con. Man, if I would have won, I would have asked him. But anyways, you make a really good point, and I think those Cosmic books, even late. This is late in the game, for us speculators to speculate on Cosmic Phase 5, right? Yeah. So there's a lot of good deals still out there, and even in a soft market, even better deals. And Brian's going to talk about a couple.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just going to mention, because I was thinking about Moondragon. I think like her first appearance, like Iron Man 80, it's a black cover, so getting it. But you can get it super cheap. And those Guardian books, man, they do, like, that team fluctuates year over year, and because it's amazing, with Adam Warlock just now showing up. I still remember buying, and tell me if I'm off on the numbers, I think FF 65 and 66, literally back in 2012,
66, 67,
66, 67, buying those back then when people were speculating. Or I'm sorry, 2014. And it's taken that long to get him to the screen. People have been talking about him for so long, so it's amazing.
Yeah.
And I know, have the Annihilation books picked up a lot of heat on the Guardians of the Galaxy?
I haven't seen much of it yet. Okay. I haven't been really paying attention to those books, but I wouldn't be surprised. Those are great books. That Guardians of the Galaxy, some of those runs, like the War of the Realms stuff, and Lavelle, some of that stuff, I could see probably starting to move. I'd be interested to know, I would love to see that character show up, that Phi Lavelle character.
Big time. I'm with you, brother.
Yeah. So that'd be a good character to show up. I love the Adam Warlock stuff. Obviously, he was such a big part of all the Infinity Sagas. But his stuff later on, when is great. All the was it Claremont that was doing his stuff? Was it Claremont that was doing? No, who's the guy that did Thanos? God damn it! Hold on.
Thanos where?
Was it Jim Starlin? Was it?
Starlin. Thank you, Starlin.
Starlin.
Yeah, the Starlin stuff. Yeah, man, I would love to see Adam Warlock be a big part of what's coming up. It just he looks a little off, and I think you're right, Nate. He feels like he looks a little off. Just for whatever reason, it looks like they should have used more CG and less paint. I'll put it that way.
It's just it's still early, and we only really see his bust, so maybe we'll really get a different view. But I will say this though, remember when all the photos leaked of a Black Widow with the Taskmaster we were all waiting for, and everybody was ripping on him, and everybody was like, no, CGC is going to take care. No, it looked almost identical.
Yeah.
So can go both ways.
The High Evolutionary character, what do you guys think?
Love him. I loved him in Peacemaker. I thought he was a great actor. And as a character, I mean, I've been talking about this for a long time. Brian and I have been talking about, that Thor 134, 135, and the Marvel Premiere 1 and all the other cosmic books he's in. I think he's going to do well.
Yeah. Brad Selden said it's the hair for Adam Warlock. Whatever.
Yeah, there is something. I think that was the first thing my eyes went to when I saw him. It's just, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, it definitely had something to do with it. And then the colors, like the gem, I don't know. The outfit. When you see him in Infinity Gauntlet, Infinity War, and just that continuation from like the 90s, the books then, like the color schemes were just so bright. It's almost like when G.I. Joe went from the normal colors from like the 80s runs, when they got in the 90s, they really bright colors. And then that's just so dull, and it's hard to distinguish one part from the other. So
it was on that white paper too.
Yeah, that's right.
What about tie-ins wise for any of the MCU that's going on? You know what I mean? Like Captain Marvel, anything. I would expect that we'd have some type of little tie-ins showing up in the movie. You know what I mean? Like piecing the whole universe together. You think we're going to see any Captain Marvel inferences in it?
When does the Captain Marvel series come out compared to when GOG 3 comes out? Yeah,
Marvel's
is that the name of it? I didn't know if they were.
Sorry, the Marvels.
The Marvels, right.
Yeah, it's a movie. It's a film.
Because I didn't know like how closely the release dates were between the two. So if there's like any kind of continuation from one to the other, especially like in credits into the other movie.
Yeah, I think they're going to tie together. I mean, if you guys are watching or not subbed to my channel, please do. Popcorn Culture. Culture spelled with a 1 instead of an L. I brought up a few things with the MCU. They're rearranging Phase 5 and Phase 6. Some projects are going to be canceled, but not the ones that, not the projects that were announced. This was coming from the Murphy's Multiverse website. That's where I got it from. And I believe he actually wrote the article. And then we spoke about it. And also on top of that, they're talking about they're possibly spreading out a few of the slated dates so they could build more MCU continuity story context. So having like a second series of Miss Marvel, because that's what they do with the MC or the Marvel TV is they build the context for the films. You know what I mean? Or they help build. So yeah, they were talking about that, and the article was labeled that Disney or Marvel Studios and Disney were not happy with Phase 4.
They weren't the only ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Did you guys see that there's a new Boys series coming out? Did you guys see this?
No.
Yeah, they should have announced today, right? They announced it at LA Comic Con because they were all there.
Yeah, a new spin-off, which I love. Who doesn't love the Boys universe? But it's called Generation V. It's about a lot of the characters, like their younger days and them joining, getting into becoming a superhero and all that stuff. Let's take a look at this one too.
Welcome to Godolphin University. It's a safe space.
Hold on here. What's going on? Open this up. Let's go here. There we go.
You to thrive.
Restart it.
V what? The stuff they give them when they're kids, babies. The blue
V,
stuff.
right?
something V. I forgot what.
Yeah, Compound V.
Compound V. Yeah.
It says welcome to Godolkin University. I don't know where that comes from. This is your first look at Gen V, the boys' college spin-off series arriving in Prime in 2023. So interesting.
You know, it's amazing when you're talking about comic spec. I just still can't believe the boys' comics go for so cheap. It's such a great series. Like, everyone loves it. Like, I can't believe it's those books have just never blown up like, you know, other movies and I guess maybe more traditional like Marvel and DC spec.
I feel like that's across the board. You look at anything that's come out in the last couple of years during the pandemic or just before or just after, feel like it's all kind of fallen a little bit more flatter than it has in the past.
Yeah. Well, Andy, we got one final trailer to go over. And it's your baby.
You guys just turned me off when you need me to stop talking.
So for you guys that don't know, The Last of Us put out a new trailer. Let's go ahead and check it out.
Bella Ramsey, I think, is in a very good position to play this character going forward if they make this a universe or they go from streaming to movies. I think she's right at that age right now where she can play the young Ellie right now, that 12, 13, 14 years old. I can't remember exactly how old she was in the first part, but if they ever bridge over to part 2 or beyond, she's going to be able to age with the series as we go.
Yeah,
I think she has the acting chops. If anybody remembers her from Game of Thrones and how much of a badass she was back then, oof.
Yeah.
That's Ashley. So this is interesting. I'm glad you paused it right here. This is Ashley Johnson, the voice of Ellie from the video games. They're having her and Troy play a cameo. This is the sneak peek to Ashley right here. But just before, Marlene, who you saw, is playing the character that she voiced in the video games, and why I'm drawing a blank at the moment. She's playing Marlene. Oh, I'm sorry, Merle Dandridge is her name, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but she plays Marlene not only in this series, but she's also the voice actor.
Oh, that's cool. That's very cool.
Right here. Right there. So Nick Offerman playing Bill. The guy he's pointing the gun at is Frank. For anybody that's played the series, I'm not going to spoil too much, but Frank and Bill right there, if I remember correctly, if I've got the actors correctly. God, I don't want to spoil anything. There's so much to pick away here and talk about, but I don't know if I want to spoil any more for other people. That right there is David. Oh man, people that played the game are getting goosebumps right now. Go to the next clip, like 1 second. Right there to the guy in the green coat with the rifle pointing down to his left. That's Troy Baker. Troy Baker is the voice actor for Joel in the series.
That's cool. That's awesome that they're using the real actors. That's very cool.
Bloater. So this is the big bad of the first series, part 1. This is a bloater. This is our first glimpse at a bloater. And anybody that has surround sound is going to be in for a treat when hopefully they do this. It's Dolby Atmos surround sound, because the game, when you play this, all the clickers, all the noises, the bloaters scare the piss out of you at 3 o'clock in the morning when you're on a marathon gameplay. I cannot stop thinking about this. I can't let go of this. This is the second trailer that's out, and this is the one that's shown the most details that we can pick away. We could do an entire hour-long show on this,
nice.
in my opinion.
I'm going to run and let my dog out real quick. Continue.
The captain has left the wheel, so to speak.
Yeah, let's watch that trailer again. Just kidding.
I mean, like, I don't know what else to say without spoiling too much, but I mean, you can go down IMDb. There's some characters that aren't listed and actors that aren't listed yet for obvious reasons, and there's some ones that are listed for obvious reasons. And there's some new characters. Like they said, they were going to depart from the video game a little bit, but we're talking The Last of Us Part 1 is in the top 10 best-selling PlayStation video games of all time. It's like number 3 in PS3 games, and it's number 10, I think, in the top 10 of all time for for PlayStation.
Wow. Hey, Andy, if you want to go back and I'm sorry, Josh. I was just going to ask if you wanted to read it. Is it Dark Horse?
Dark Horse did the 4-comic Not Abbott. It came out after the video game. It's American. The Last
Also,
of Us, American Dreams.
Video game. It's the comic's based on the video game, not vice versa. Okay.
Yep, the comics actually come from the video game, and it's not the other way around. And the print run wasn't massive. People weren't really. The following for The Last of Us hadn't really been developed in that first few months. Was it April 2013? The first issue came out. Okay. This is I think this is one of those books that I'll chase and I'll keep seeking out. This in the variant. Getting these in high quality is not easy because people didn't care about them. They bounced around. I mean, imagine being a Star Wars collector and going for Dark Horse stuff from 2012 and 2013 and how hard it is to find in good shape. Plus
especially that dark cover too.
Dark cover plus the print run is nowhere near of that of like a Marvel or a Star Wars book or anything like that. So it's a lower print run indie title in 2013 when indies weren't even really hot.
What's the variant? Is it a ratio variant?
There is. It's not a ratio variant. It was a variant, and I have it boxed up, but it was released with the Pandemic Edition in 2013 when the game came out, like an upscale version. That one's even harder to find in super high grade because that comic book was put in a fabric holder with the rest of the stuff and just folded up and then packed in a box and shipped. So there's nothing to protect it.
Wow.
Very cool. The European Pandemic Edition that went out got like a miniature version of it. So they could pack and ship overseas easier, I think. So there's a mini like ash can kind of variant that I've got laying around here somewhere. And
did you get it from Josh?
I don't know. I got it from somebody. I may have gotten it from Josh. I can't remember. That one I got a couple of years ago. That's really hard to find in high grade. The variant I have in a 9.6, and that's why I was in on the Stein packs this week because he had a 9.8 available in the Stein packs. That was. Oh man, I didn't get it, but I'm trying to trade for it. Whoever got that one.
Let's hit on that real quick. Did everybody get a chance to watch the Stein packs today at all?
I got home, parked the car, walked inside, and Josh is trying to message me, and so are 10 other people. Like, your packs are up right now, and I was gonna go live with Ben, and I forgot all about it.
Yeah, it was crazy because you got to go back to back. So I was like, Andy.
I know, Josh. You did a big giveaway, right?
Yeah, I bought 2 packs and I just ended up giving them away. Because like so when people picked a pack, if they weren't happy, they could let Stein take one of their books back, and they were entered into a drawing at the end of the show for a 9.8 newsstand of the first Jessica Cruz. So there ended up being like 6 people in that, and I just was like, after my second pack got picked, I just told him to add those 2 packs to the drawing at the end too, so 3 people won instead of 1.
Oh, that's awesome, dude. That's really cool. So for those of you guys that don't know, Stein put together his famous Stein mystery packs. Did a live opening of them. You guys can go check it out on his YouTube channel. He went through them, and he did a good job. He set up multiple cameras, which is smart of him to always have the packs on camera at all times, so nobody can say that any fuckery was going on, which is really smart on his part. And he let people pick them and then pull them out, and he gave away a 9.8 Fringe, which is one of the books we talked about last night, which is very cool. So a lot of slabs, a lot of cool stuff. Go check it out. I'm going to drop the link in the live chat. You guys should already be subbed up over at House of Stein anyways. If you're not, sub up. That's where we do the Hot 10 every week, every Friday. Me, Richie, and Stein. It's a lot of fun over there. We had a good show last night. Check out last night's show also. But yeah, very, very cool Stein packs. Man, it looks like he had a nice little turnout also, which is very cool because in all honesty, you guys, this is what we want to do more of. We want to kind of like move more towards less whatnot and less eBay and more direct selling to people through YouTube, right? It's where we that old shade shy song, where we want to be. This is where we want to be right here, man. So shout out to Stein for that and pulling that off. It's very, very cool stuff. So if anybody's in chat, let us know if you guys got anything good in there. And by the way, you guys, I see 91 live with us right now. Hit that thumbs up button. If you're live with us right now, the likes that you hit, the more likes we get, the more live viewers that we pull in. So that really helps us to get the thumbs up on the likes and stuff like that. So, all right, Richie, you want to get into some FOC talk?
Yeah, I put together a little list. I haven't looked at the list for about 3 weeks because I've been working and studying. Had some extra time, so I put some slides together. We can go into that.
All right, let's do it.
All right, thank you guys for watching. If you guys don't know me or I don't look familiar, my name is Rich Taylor, aka Dollar. I have a YouTube channel and Facebook Live. We also stream and upload videos on Periscope. Popcorn Culture spelled with a 1 instead of an L. Please subscribe. I'm trying to get to 600. If we can get to 600 subscribers before 9 p.m. Pacific tonight, and we're still on, which is right around the 2-hour point that Brian wanted to end at, we're going to do 2 big giveaways at the end. So let me know.
How many subscribers are you right now, Richie?
Just a few. And,
so
and don't alt it.
5 subs. He only needs 5 more subs, you guys. 5 more subs to 600. Let's get them there.
Please like this live stream. Like Brian says, it helps with the algorithm. If you are supporting us, even if you're not supporting us, but you still troll us in behind the scenes, we still love you and we still consider you a part of the community. So give us a like and you leave us a comment. Let me know what you guys think of these FOC picks. First on the docket, it's one of those cash grabs by Marvel. Your default cash grab, I should say. I don't mean that in a bad way, but speculation wise, I think these one day will be ghosts. This is the Ed McGuinness second print of ASM 14, 1 in 25. Color splash, I guess you would call that. Some will call it a partial sketch, whatever, but it's pretty cool. Con season's around the corner, and that'd be really she's a popular character. Spider-Verse is coming. That'd be a really cool thing to have the artist color in her sketch or remark. So okay, so we have I say a minor to moderate first appearance coming, but a lot of people think this could be major because Wakanda 4 isn't going to be probably heavily ordered, but we have Wakanda number 4. You're going to get an origin of Benhazen in the guts, and we're also going to get the first appearance of Kim. I think it's Kim. It's not Kimmy. If it is Kimmy or Kimmy, please, I apologize, but I thought it would be Kim or maybe Kime, which is rumored to be a love interest of Tosin. And I know all you speculators are loving Tosin, so I would order a couple copies of this. This is pretty badass, and there's a couple more of these really, and it seems like down the road will be a tough, high-grade book with the red background. I'm not a big Alien Comics, even first appearance person, but I just definitely had to order this. This is Alien 5 with Marvel Comics. This is the Dragata variant. Very cool. Avengers Forever 13 is doing a bunch of covers for this issue. There's a pretty cool wrap and this and that, but this is, I believe this is open to order. It should be cover price or less. If you pre-order, you'll get a discount, but anything that has Vision on it and is homaging Avengers 57, I'm going to order at least one or two copies. It's not the first time, but with that homage, I thought this was a really fucking badass looking cover of Howard the Duck. This is an open to order theme that Marvel's doing right now called Demonized variant, and this is the scan. What were you saying, Brian?
I said agree. That's badass.
Yeah, it's the best Howard the Duck cover or picture I've ever seen.
Yeah, a lot of the Jason Aaron, I believe, is still writing for Avengers Forever, and it's a lot of mixed reviews. I understand because he does a lot of those mashups. It almost feels like that he is trying to find a mashup that's going to be a big character. And I understand that, but I just like this cover, and it's been a pretty decent story thus far. This is Miracle Man, and I believe the title extends to Miracle Man, Neil Gaiman, and something else, but it's the only Miracle Man on the list title. So Miracle Man, this is the Silver Age variant by Stephanie Hans. This is issue number 4 on FOC, I believe, until Monday. Peter Parker and Miles Morales, Spider-Man Double Trouble number 3. There's only 2 covers. Both of them are open to order. Obviously, cover A is. This is the Ryan Gonzalez. I think it's pretty cool. Very quirky, and I love her. I just love her blends.
Yeah.
This is badass, and I'm pretty sure this is open to order. I had to triple check it, and it said open to order. But this is Spider-Man: The Lost Hunt number 3. This is the Soyan variant. Holy shit! They could have made that a 1 in 50, and I bet you people would have ordered it.
Reverse negative, something like that. That's crazy. The next one, holy cow!
Yeah,
That's
this is I actually had to order 10 copies of my retailer's really cool. I just had to order 10, and then he'll give me the 1 in 25. He just puts the other 15 on his shelf. Venom 15, this is the 1 in 25 Sue variant, and this is Dark Web Venom, by the way. Or Dark Web tie-in, or whatever you call that. You guys like that?
That's sick.
Once Upon a Time at the End of the World number 2. This is obviously, you guys know who it is, and I say good Momoko. This is good Momoko. This is a 1 in 100.
It's not terrible.
Now, doing a 1 in 100?
Yeah, it's a virgin, but be aware the other incentives. I think there's all 75, 50, 25 by Momoko. They're all the same, but they have trade. This is the virgin. I prefer the virgin.
Boom 101, man. Every decent title.
And this is, being a number 2, they have a 1 in 100.
Yeah, they didn't even do a 1 in 100 for number 1. They just,
wow.
Damn Them All number 3. I think this fucking cover's insane. 1 in 25 Adlord. Look at his hand. It's like, and look at the purple background. It's like it's a train tunnel. That looks so sick. Damn Them All number 3 as well. And there's only 6 issues in this series to let you know. This is a 1 in 50 Jenny Frizen incentive.
Am I the only one that thinks that we should, this is getting a little overplayed. They're all way too similar now when I'm going through my long boxes.
Dude, I was getting ready to say the same thing. You seen one, they kind of all got it. I
was going to say, who's we? You got a mouse in your pocket? No. Fucking Rick Simpson, man. Got me again. All right, here we go. Damn Them All number 3 as well. But this is the 1 in 75 Bradstreet. And I think this one might be my favorite.
Yeah, it's much better.
Artistic.
It's distinct.
Shout out to Mr. Longshort. If you guys are not familiar with Ben Deshane, aka Mr. Longshort, he's a very good friend of mine and the panels. He has a killer Instagram. Just put in Mr. Longshort, you'll find it. He does market reports. The guy is actually a real life financial dude, and he works in economics and the stock market and all that. Dude's brilliant. And he's the one that turned on Jeff DeCall to me and a lot of our friends. And I've been buying his Jeff DeCall stuff every time I see it, even if it's a cover A or open to order variant. This is one of those AWA upshot titles. This is Trojan number 1 of 4 DeCall cover. Very cool. You're on mute, Bri. I didn't mean to call you Brian.
Great design all around, man. That's a 10.
Yeah, and you can imagine there's not going to be that many. Even with that news that AWA was optioned or whatever. Okay, so shout out to Tony Fleeks, a friend of the show, a friend of Brian's. This is plush 2. This is plush number 2 from Image. This is the Fleeks cover, and I believe this is open to order, and it's freaky as shit. It took me a second for it to, when I was doing the list, I looked at it, and I was just going to check right off of it, and I was like, but then when I saw they were cannibals, I fucking freaked. I was, oh my God, I started laughing. I was like, that's going on the list for sure.
Shout out to Tony. He's got a new project he's working on, and hit him up last week, and gonna get him on the show as soon as possible. So maybe next week or the week after we'll get Tony on. So Tony's a great friend of the channel. Really good dude. Shout out to Tony and Drew over at Wanted Comics and Sean Big Clutch over at Comics Vault Live. All three of those guys, along with Big Leg, I'm really jealous of them. They go and have these cool lunches every week or so, where they get to go hang out and shoot the shit with each other, and I'm jealous of it every time.
Okay, so this is plush number 2 as well, and this is what is this? This is cover D. I believe this is an incentive. You're gonna have to double check that. If it's not, I apologize, but pretty cool cover. The cover artist on this is Daniel Hilliard. I think it's just interesting. It could be an incentive, but I'm not sure it's Image. What'd you say, Brian?
They're doing those Spawn covers where Spawn shows up in every cover. So
yeah, and thank you for saying that. So Brian just segued into what Image is doing. I don't know if they're just doing this FOC or this entire month, but they're doing Spawn covers, and some of them look like shit. Oh no, they all look cool. Don't get me wrong, but some of them are just like, man, everybody's, Spawn comes out every month. But here is one I really like. This is Lovesick. I believe this is number 3. That's a Spawn cover. You like it?
Yeah, I dig this one. Okay. That's one of the like few that I want to get.
Me too. Philadelphia. Once in a while, they don't do incentives. I don't believe they ever have. They might have for number 1, but this is Jason Sean Alexander's baby, and they always do like typically 2 or 3 covers. Well, of 2022, they just started doing a cover A, and then they do what's called a black and white and noir, which is like a color splash or sketch partial, whatever you want to call that. And that's kind of like the third cover or whatever. But there's always, and I usually pass them, but I feel like in Philadelphia, there's always like 10 issue, 11 issue, and then boom, all of a sudden some cool covers just pop up. But this is cover A. This is what I was talking about. The black and white and noir. I think that looks sick.
That's a good looking cover. Really, really sharp.
Open to order, issue 26. I just don't see a lot of people ordering this book as well. You'll probably see it on the Almost 10 in about 4 years, right? Or maybe 4 months. And then here's your Spawn cover.
That's a cool Spawn cover.
Ooh. That one's excellent. That is awesome. That's probably the best one I've seen yet.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. This book I pulled it. I was telling Brian backstage. What did I say, Brian? I said there was a couple that I was like, but I know Brian's going to love these. So they're Opus, baby. Opus is doing I don't know if they're doing it month long or just as FOC, or if they've always been doing it, because I'm not as familiar as Brian is, but all these have a $6.66 cover price. But of course, there's the incentives, and you have to work out the retailer. But this is cover A. It's nothing special, but I wanted to show you these covers. This is the Timpson 1 and 5, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, I like it.
And I think this one's wicked. This is the 1 in 10 by La Mancha.
That's interesting.
Yeah, very artistic. I love how the upside down cross and everything's kind of just melting with the Thanksgiving theme on the top, kind of. Yeah, very cool.
Very Maria Wolf-esque.
Agreed. This title looks pretty cool. It's the number 1 title, and it's also Dark Horse. I love Dark Horse. We all love Dark Horse, Star Wars, you name it. This is Spy Superb. This is, I believe this is cover A. But here is the Tula Lotte variant. It's an incentive. I believe it's a 1 in 25. Double check. Always double check. But I believe it's a 1 in 25 Tula Lotte. I love it.
Dark Horse getting into the ratios, huh?
Okay, so maybe it's not. Maybe it's a 1 in 10, or hopefully it's open to order, but maybe it's a 1 in 10. So
I mean, it's just good to see Dark Horse coming to the plate with a bat, so to speak. I mean, everything we've talked about Dark Horse over the last year, what's going to be happening with them, it's like they're coming to play.
Yeah, they got didn't they just pick up like Star Wars Adventures and
they got it back after they lost all the Star Wars stuff? What, a year ago, Brian?
Yeah.
This is the 1 in 25 for Spy Superb 1. My bad. So I believe that Tula Lotte is either open to order or like a 1 in 10. But make sure you double check. But I like this cover. At first, I didn't like it, but then when I looked at it, I said, "Holy shit, this is a Ben Stein cover. We got to get this book one day down the line on the Hot 10 so he can dissect this face right here. This face is sketched. The artist created a bunch of little faces, and I bet you all these little faces are probably characters in this book. I thought that was a wicked idea and really cool. I know there's not a lot of Dynamite lovers, but there were 2 covers that really caught my eye. And don't get me wrong, there's always good covers with Dynamite, with Perillo and you name it. Yeah. Bartel. I even see Jim Lee sometimes jumps down there. But you have Immortal Red Sonja, #1. This is the Nakayama limited metal variant, and my retailer's giving this to me for $65.99. But it has a $100 MSRP on it. I think it's a great cover, and I don't think there should be any out there.
You know, it'd be cool if only the metal stuff were the jewels and her sword and her shirt.
That'd be sick.
Ooh.
This is Mortal Red Sonja #9, cover 0. So there's probably multiple Red Sonjas. There's so many damn that list. I just get confused. But anyway, this is cover 0. This is the 1 in 10, and this is the Lyrics, baby. I love him. Lyrics. He's one of my favorite modern artists right now. Ultraviolet Virgin.
Yeah, this looks really good. He did a really good one for the 90s, I think it's called, last week or the week before, the Ultraviolet stuff. Yeah, I love this. This is good.
Ninjets #4, cover F. This is the 10 copy incentive Perez version. What's that weapon called? It's a name for it. Looks sick how she's whipping it around.
Yeah, maybe it was the Ninjets that he did the cover for last week.
Here is the next one I like a lot. Lyrics version for Ninjets one. Yeah. Good call. Yeah, I love this. Like I said, I love Lyrics, and I think this is a really good cover. And then he also did this Ultraviolet one, which is very manga-ish, anime-ish, and I think this could blow up right out the gate. This is cover L. This is the 7 copy FOC incentive. I don't like cosplays. Variants. I thought that was a huge waste of money, but this might be the best cosplay variant I've ever seen. Because I have no idea who she's playing. Probably a character in this low printed book that hardly anybody knows. So she looks like just this really hot person, badass. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Looks cool. All right, TMNT, The Last Ronin is doing another volume or whatever tie-in or whatever side hustle. TMNT, The Last Ronin, Lost Years #1. This is the only cover that I even thought about ordering. I still haven't pulled the trigger on it, but this is the 1 in 50 Diodato, and in my opinion is the only one that's worth a bit. I think he's doing multiple covers for this issue as well. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, comment. Love y'all. You guys are great.
Yeah, very good stuff. And for those of you guys that don't know, I think I talked about it last week. I've been talking about it for a while. I want to give a big shout out to our homies, Bird City Comics, who, of course, friends of the channel, friends of most of all of us here on the panel, doing great stuff. Go check out birdcitycomics.com. But we are going to be starting a Bird City Comics sponsorship here, where we're going to be picking. I'm going to be picking at least five books every week that we're going to talk about on the show every Saturday. This is going to coincide with our membership that we're starting here at the channel. I think it's going to be like $5 a month for the membership, and then if you're a member of the channel, you have the ability to buy the McClay's Picks box, which is going to be 5 comics where I pick 5 books, whether cool covers, cool spec plays, something like that, every week, and different comics. And there's also going to have special things in it, like shirts that we make only for that month, or special Bird City Comics exclusives that you can only get in that membership box, special Bird City Comics exclusives that you can only get for being a member of the channel. So shout out to Bird City Comics. I'm going to be working on this with Anthony every week, starting soon. We've been getting together on Mondays now, figuring out the plan and how this is going to work out. But it's going to be a lot of fun, and it gives me a chance to kind of get back into the FOC spec game, at least picking up 5 new books every week that I like and that you can pick up too, and also help support the channel, help support Bird City Comics, and get some cool shit. I'm really looking forward to the really limited stuff, like doing some limited t-shirts that you can only get by being part of this, that as soon as that month is done, we no longer make those t-shirts, whether, you know, they're cool t-shirts for the channel or for Bird City Comics, or, you know, something that you, the viewer, can come up with. I'm going to give the viewers a chance to make cool t-shirts and, you know, make them ideas and stuff like that. So it's just going to be a very cool way to get our membership part of the channel rolled out. So a lot of fun. Check out birdcitycomics.com. It's going to be very interesting. Shout out to Ant and Laura. Make sure you're also watching Nearing Nirvana sub up there every week. Nearing Nirvana just killing it constantly, doing good stuff, including their show with our boy Aaron Yee and Mr. Longshort that they do every Thursday. By the way, you guys, we are 1 subscriber away from 600 subscribers over at Popcorn Culture, you guys. Make sure, I'm going to drop the link in the live chat. If you're not subbed up over at Richie's channel, go over there, sub up. Great content, just putting out killer stuff, lots of comic book spec stuff and card stuff. He is the smart one. He continues to videotape his card pulls, but he pulled a McClay the other day. So yeah, we'll get into that later. One of the things that I want to get into real quick is prices on books, we all know, are down across the board. I mean, just big time. The drop in keys is just crazy. Perfect example is we talked about Ultimate Fallout 4 the other night, and the amount of that book has dropped, more than 60% value drop in that book, in a 9.8 in the last 6 months, I think, or something like that. It's absolutely crazy. Tons and tons of prints on that book, and I think people are starting to realize that. And I think that there's some very interesting plays that can be made out there with how cheap everything is. I'm not saying go and buy an Ultimate Fallout 4, but there are some killer deals to be made. And I found some books that recently sold while, you know, doing my market report data that I do a market report every Wednesday night on the radar. Here are some very interesting books that I've seen recently that sold for very cheap, that I think that if you can get these books for this cheap, I mean, you just won. You won the week in comic buying. So let's get into some of these cheap comic buys over the last week or so. This is very interesting stuff. I love stuff like this. Love going through these. It kind of pisses me off at the same time, but one of my favorite all-time books is Megaton 3. And for those of you guys that don't know what that is, that's a very early Eric Larson comic that was published way early in the Savage Dragon era. This is before Image was put together and all that stuff. And he kind of rolled out Savage Dragon in these books. And its first appearance of Savage Dragon in major storylines. So Megaton number 3, a 9.2. It's so hard to find these and find them in high grade yet alone, but a 9.2 sold for $61, you guys. That's crazy.
So what's the norm on that?
I don't know the norm, but I feel like that right there is a norm for a raw copy of that.
Because you pay half this for the slapping fee, right?
Exactly. So you guys got to remember, you know, $20 to $30 just to slab the book.
Shipping, everything.
Yeah. Shit, it's almost $60, basically what he paid for.
Yeah, wow. Right.
Yeah. The Spider-Man 12 variant for $88, you guys.
That was a $300-400 book, right?
That's a beautiful book too.
It was $600 during that big spike. I think we even had it on the Hot 10, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So, yeah. Whoever got that, great buy, killer. the Comics Journal 84. It's a book we've talked about here a couple of times. Just such the very first McFarlane Batman art in it, and early McFarlane art, so tough to find, and somebody got lucky and got one for $67. So that's amazing. That's so cool, man. I wish I would have seen that. I should have been following that one. I'm following it now, but I should have been following that one. Damn it. Next, we've got, speaking of McFarlane Batman, a closed, not opened DC Comics 3-pack that has Detective 423 to 425 in it.
Oh my
God. Yes. $81, you guys.
That's
wow.
Can you get that multi-pack graded?
I don't know. I don't even think you can get that book alone for $81 anymore. You know what I mean?
No, definitely not. Yeah. Well, maybe now, but yeah. That's crazy. That book went nuclear over 3 years, even before the pandemic. Remember?
Yeah, it's funny you asked that, Dollar, because I was thinking the same thing. Like, if you could get that graded, and I don't think you can, but it's funny because with like action figures, you can get like 3-packs graded, and they give an overall grade for all 3 figures. And that's actually always the problem I've had. I've always thought they should have like 3 separate or different stickers for each figure, but there you can't because you can't see the middle book. So I'm guessing that probably causes a big issue. But it would be very cool if you could just get it slabbed. It'd be beautiful, especially like if you got McFarlane to sign it, send it in CGC during the signing.
Ever since we did that, Brian brought up I believe it was on MCM. We brought up the a grading company that's grading packs of cards and cello packs, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so every time I see a sealed pack of something, something that we collect, I always go, "Oh, I wonder if you can grade that."
Yeah, because PSA's they do the individual packs, and actually I think I saw, it wasn't PSA, but I want to say it was CAS. Someone had one of each of the original 5, a pack of each of the original 5 series in 1977 Star Wars, and it looks incredible, and it's 1 grade. So again, I think it's hard because I'm like, how do you put 1 grade on every pack? So, but it looks beautiful the way it's displayed.
One of my all-time favorite covers is this Ultimatum number 1 in 100 Finch cover. Just absolutely amazing, beautiful cover, and for a 9.8 for $150, it's crazy. That's absolutely just bonkers, and somebody got so lucky. Love that book. 1948 Dell 4-color comics 199, iconic Carl Banks.
Or Barks, sorry.
Yeah. Carl Banks is badass too.
Yeah, Giants. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Carl Barks, Sheriff Donald Duck cover, just so tough to find, and any grade, yet alone decent grade. And from 1948, you guys, it sold for $88. And if that looks familiar to you guys, if that cover looks familiar, there's a reason on that. That being this famous Sam Keith homage that he did for Critters number 21. This is another one of those iconic early Sam Keith covers where he kind of homaged it. I love this book too. This book's a very tough book to find in its own right, but very, very cool homage to that Carl Barks cover, which you could have got for super cheap, as you guys can see on that, $88. $88. So, again, if you have some disposable income, right now is buying season. It is buying season.
Yep.
All right. G.I. Joe. Yeah. IDW. I know you're looking at the middle one there, Andy. IDW Stadium Comics Snake Eyes Dead Game number 1, the homage to Hulk 181 with Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow. A 9.8 sold for $86. Again, you're paying $30 just to get that book graded and shipped. Yep. So, to get it for, $50 basically. I think that book out the gate, 25.
I was going to say, when it came out and everything took off, the thing was going for, it peaked around like a 120 raw. And then it came down to about this price raw. And you can still actually order them on the website for a little bit afterwards. But because I was going through stuff earlier and there's one right over here. And it cracks me up.
Resident Evil #1, the promotional issue. You guys know I love video game covers, or comics. You guys know I love promotional cover comics, and here is the two coming together with the coupon, you guys, which is so hard to find. These are impossible to find in high grade, yet alone with the coupon. Somebody snagged one for $99, which is ridiculous. I've had so many people reach out to me about getting this, and I still have to find mine. I can't find mine. I haven't been able to find it yet. But I've had so many people reach out to me about this book, and you could have had one for as cheap as $99, which is ridiculously cheap with that coupon and everything, and in high and decent grade. So tough. Original Bill Sienkiewicz cover art, which was the video game cover as well. So, Department of Truth 22. Josh, do you know about this? This is a Singapore Comic Con exclusive of Souza Micah. I didn't know about this.
No, I had no idea.
Yeah. So it is, of course, a exclusive at Singapore Comic Con, it says. And Souza Micah, great cover artist, just really popped on the scene over the last year or so. And it sold for $76. I really want to, I'd be interested to find out more about this and hear about maybe how many copies were out there. So if anybody knows more about that book, but it's pretty cool that being a con exclusive from Singapore. So next, all three of these, you guys. Now, I could be off on pricing, but I feel like these sell for at least double of these in high grade. And this era of Spawn, all these are all the different 185 covers. And these are so hard to find. Yet alone in high grade, and the variants, low print run era Spawn. Look at those prices for 9/8. Absolutely crazy, man. I love the Capullo variant with the headless Spawn, and then of course the one on the far right is one that people just go gaga for.
You know, in the Spawn world too, the 9/8, especially when it gets into the runs where there are very few or there aren't any. I mean, people pay a lot of money to make sure like they are the ones who have like the 9/8 because the population count is so small.
Yeah, and this one, this is issue 185, and the 180s are some of the lowest print run era Spawn stuff. So that's what I always have in my head is the 180 era to look for. So, all right, next, what if Venom possessed Deadpool? #1, that is an old school iconic variant that for the longest time was an original CBSI book that I remember back on the G+ days of CBSI, and $158 raw. I've seen it go for less than that. That book has really fallen off, but it is iconic Scotty Young cover. Tough book.
Wow.
How about the first appearance on the show for $86? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And especially after, well, you know, the Black Panther movie just came out, like you would think, I don't know, but that's just
And The Walking Dead, yeah. Crazy. I love that how bright green that Uncanny X-Men 21 JTC negative space variant is. It's just beautiful. I wish I owned it, and I could have had a 9.8 for $122. Just makes me angry. I love that cover, that Rogue. There's a perfect example of JTC negative space and a great color. The bright neon green. It just killed that cover. Great book. Bruce Timm, Naughty and Nice Good Girl Art. It's an art book. Very tough to find. $162 on that. Bruce Timm fans are rabid for his stuff, and that Bruce Timm Good Girl art is tough to find. So Punisher #218, the photo variant, $152.
It's holding.
God, yeah. For years, all of you guys in the community told me to buy a couple of copies of this to get Bernthal to sign them for my personal collection. I never prioritized the book, and I'm still kicking myself to this day when it was a $20, $30 book, and it's still kind of holding.
Yeah. I mean, it got up to like 200 when we were right before our sharp decline. And it was like after it was right after a recycled rumor too from like years ago. And then also I think it got a little bump during I don't know if you guys saw over the last month, but there was an IG post with John Bernthal that was basically, I don't know. Somebody said it has something to do with the MCU. I don't know. But at one point I had 6 copies of this book. And the most I had ever paid was I bid on it at my comic shop auction, and I ended up getting it for like $80, which is the most I ever paid. I always, like Andy said, I was getting it for between 30 and 50 was like the norm. And I felt bad about it. And then, man, this thing just keeps climbing steadily.
This is one of those books that I'm gonna have to chase to get it signed and get graded in a 9.8, and I'm gonna have to try to do it affordably. But photo variants just don't do this well in the secondary market. This one breaks the mold.
Right. This is the different. Yeah, 100% agree.
Shout out to Red Hood. Every time I see this book, I think of Red Hood. The King James #1 DC Comics Coca-Cola book. Tough book to find, and to get it in a 9.8 for $155, I feel like is a decent buy. So
where is Red Hood? We need him.
I don't know. Yeah,
Joe, if you're watching, we miss you.
Love you, brother. All right, there you go, Andy. Last of Us #1 for $60.
That's a freaking steal. That's a steal.
So, another book that was one of the first times I ever remember the word variant, and I remember this book being just priced so high back in the day when I was getting Wizards, sent to me monthly, and Ultimate Spider-Man #1, the white variant. That book has fallen so much. To get one for $100 or less is just mind-blowing to me. But that's one book that I'll be on the lookout for to picking up for cheap. Ultimate Spider-Man was such a big book for comics. I mean, it was for the longest time one of the best storylines in comics, period. Bagley and Brian Michael Bendis just killed it. And iconic run, and changed a lot for comics. So, and then right next to it, The Amazing Spider-Man 700, the Ditko variant, such a tough book, another old school CBSI book that I remember from the G Plus days, $157 on 10 bids.
Hey, Brian, you guys can tell me if I'm off, or Chuck can tell me if I'm off, but the reason that one is so expensive, is it because was that supposed to be the original cover for Amazing Fantasy, and then they decided to redo it?
I thought there was something like that. I thought that was the case. Yeah.
Because I've always wanted that. I thought that was the reason behind it. Because I was like,
yes,
I thought it was cool, but I was like 700, whatever. But when I thought I read that a while back, I was like, oh, that'd be cool to have to put beside like an AF-15 or reprint or copy.
I wonder why Bagley refused to remark it, Brad. Did he say why?
Huh.
That's very interesting. Huh. It's weird. So Philip Chung said Wizard had that priced at $200 to $300 back in the day.
Wow.
Holy cow,
man.
Yeah. Shout out to Philip Chung. So Doc Joe says that book should flop like a LeBron. He just didn't feel like it. That's a bummer. I mean, I could understand him going like, no, this book is like, I don't ever remark this book because it's just such a great cover and this and that. I can understand that, but to be like, I just don't feel like it. I have to pay. He's like, nah.
Hey, don't worry. Bagley always be the guy who's the leftover. McFarlane, Larson, and then Bagley. He was.
Yeah.
This is what we got left.
Yep. So that was some cheap covers or comic buys over the week that I saw. That just goes to prove how cheap everything is out there right now. I mean, it is ridiculously cheap out there right now. So be on the lookout for that stuff. It's buying season, period. So, all right, you guys ready? Let's get into some pickups. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
It'll be the G.I. Joe edition.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
So kind of talking about buying season, I have been kind of keeping an eye out for different ones. Anything with Snake Eyes. So you can tell you're old when you look at this and like, this was the 25th anniversary of Marvel, remember growing up, I'm like, God almighty, that was a long time ago. And it's sad, I think the Care Bears version of like the, this book is so expensive, way more probably than the G.I. Joe. But I picked this up and it was under $40 on eBay for a 9.6.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is an iconic Snake Eyes cover by Mike Zeck. Love the blue. Mike Zeck does this blue tint thing with Snake Eyes that works so well. Oh man.
Yeah, I still remember when this came out when I was a kid, like picking up the raw. But I'd been trying to find a 9.8. I remember finding a 9.8 CBCS, and someone had it for. It was under 100, like maybe like 90, and it was like I think maybe it was like buy it now, and it was gone pretty quickly. So try to kind of keep an eye out for the CGC, and I just haven't seen one yet. But when it was under 40 for a 9.6, I was like, again, it cost me that much to slab it or more.
Did you see what was the reason it was considered a 9.6? Did it look like there was anything wrong with it? Because could it be a crack press and resub like Chung is saying?
I think. I mean, it's a little soft in this corner.
Does it have a QR code on the back?
It's got the.
If it had a QR code at the top, see the QR code at the top on the back?
Oh, scan it?
Yeah, scan it, and it should tell you.
Well, you mean the notes? Because I'm so used to always having to pay for the notes. Even if like you have it, like PSA's, the cards are really good with that now.
Yep.
With G.I. Joe kind of ending with 300. I don't know if you guys read it, but it didn't even end in 300.
It pissed me off, dude. What are they doing bringing back Snake Eyes like that?
So, the Royal variant was great. The 1 in 10. Beautiful. The 1 in 25, definitely less great.
Yeah.
The 1 in 50, even lesser than great. I mean, because all it was one of the regular covers. I was just like, this is the 1 in 50. I'm like, when the Royal, the 1 in 10 is better than 125. The 125 is real. I was like, man,
find Fridge on there. We still can't find Fridge.
No, it's got to be the copyright, right? I mean, we talked about a couple weeks ago. Got to be.
That's
the Bazooka is still huge, like huge.
Yeah, Bazooka's like 4 times his size.
Yeah. So I got this in the mail today. Sergeant the classified figure, and this is like I think the first figure I got where it doesn't have the clear plastic packaging from Hasbro. The figure's good, man. I think the figure looks good for Sarge. It's weird. He actually comes with this mini figure. It's like small. Awesome. I don't know what to do with it. I think it's really neat, but I don't know what you do with it. It's so small.
That's so cool, dude.
Yeah. I mean,
need to get a little
pull it off and
clear plastic case.
He could hold his own like figure, but like this would be neat. Yeah. And so it's a good figure. It's a really good figure. The boxing, I still like the old plastic. Just felt like when you get this, like it was torn down here at the bottom. I know it's probably nitpicky, but we'll see what happens when they send the Serpentor and the Dr. Mindbender from the exclusives. I did pick up Torpedo AFA 75.
Wow.
Yeah, I thought it looked pretty good for 75. I mean, like 75 to me, I don't need like a high grade. I just want to put them out. But I'd always love like the picture on the card. And I'd seen some, and I didn't want one when it had the sticker, like the price tag, anywhere on the body.
I always forget his backpack. What his backpack looked like.
Oh yeah, the little scoop of the oxygen tanks, the really small one. And it didn't. The funny part was the figure looked nothing like the character on the show.
Yeah.
And it was one of the classic older backs.
Yep, peach backs.
Yeah, I love this one because I think this is my favorite series because when he came out and Snow Job and Airborne and Doc and Gung Ho, like in Tripwire, they came with so many more accessories than Short Fuse and Zap and Grunt. I mean, it was like it just started changing the game for G.I. Joe.
I want a Gung Ho mint on card AFA graded. I love Gung Ho as a figure. You got one? Yeah.
I destroyed so many of those packages.
So funny story. So I was I've been looking for the Crimson Twins graded, and I was going through on eBay and looking at different G.I. Joes who are AFA or CAS or mint on card, just vintage, just trying to see, kind of keep an eye out because they don't really show up that much. and I've been wanting an old Zartan box because I've got 2 of the figures. Oh, awesome sauce!
You
Look at
rock.
that.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate you, Adam. 99 super
And,
chat.
so I was like, well, keep an eye out for the box. And then I saw a Zartan AFA 80 come across. I was like, okay, let me keep an eye out. I mean, the bidding had just started. It was a 7-day auction. I want to say it was about maybe the first day in. So I was like, let me just kind of scroll through and see who the seller is and what they have and that kind of stuff. Start scrolling through, and anyone recognize the name Mercenaut? So I'm like, oh, well, let me reach out to Carter. So I shot him a note on IG. I was like, hey, Carter, a long time, I hadn't talked to him a bit. What are you looking to get out at Zartan? So long story, I mean, like, you know, I was really busy with work, and he was great about responding. I felt bad because it took me time, you know, sometimes to like, I was really late in talking to him, and but he was great about it, and so it was very easy to make the transaction with Carter on this.
Oh, that is a holy grail right there,
Yeah,
you guys.
so he was great about it.
Wow.
And it's at 80.
Oh, and it has the price tag on it. That's so awesome, dude.
$6.99.
And anybody who remembers opening the G.I. Joe boxes, do you remember this damn tape? Like, I don't know where they got this stuff. There's strings in that tape. I mean,
it's like
you can't buy that at Rite Aid.
Fiberglass reinforced tape.
Yeah. So really excited to get that. So shout out to him. I mean, I had looked at in the history of and I know like the series after this when it came out, like the triple, I can't remember, like the red, white, and blue, the box. I know those are expensive. Like, this one was a third of that price, and then it's like, you know, someone has this for like double what he gave it to me, like currently listed. So Carter was really, I thought he gave me a really good deal.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. Shout out to Mercenaut. Make sure you guys go follow Mercenaut, the OG, on YouTube.
So if anybody finds the Crimson Twins, still looking for them.
Bro, I'm jealous, dude. I am so jealous, man.
Yeah, lucked out.
That's awesome, dude. That's freaking great. So, all right, who wants to go next?
I'll go.
All
so
right.
what's really interesting is we talk about pricing of books getting a little bit better, but there's an interesting series of events that take place when books go up. Certain books become less available, like sellers just are gathering them and hoarding them or holding on to them for their PCs. But as book prices come down, the opposite. The books that people aren't really looking for start to come back into the market, which is right where I'm at, because then I get to do a 5.5 hour round trip drive for Punisher Volume 2 CGC 9/8s that are scarce on the census. So for the registry set, we bump our 9/6 to a 9/8. We were able to grab this. I found the coolest little shop north of Flint, Michigan, like northeast of Flint, Michigan. It was about 2.5 hour drive. Almost 3 hour drive each way. $40 worth of gas, though, compared to paying eBay prices, because this guy was more than willing to talk and do a cash offer when I realized what storefront he had. Super cool guy. He's only open Saturdays up there. Maybe somebody will see this, but the survival parts of Volume 2 with the all black borders, extremely hard to get in a 9/8. He bought a personal collection that he spent the last, I think 8 years going through, he said, and he's slowly but surely pulling copies out. This was from an original owner collection, either read once or not at all, and he might be my in to finish part of the registry. I know I've got several packages coming from other people that we picked up books from, and when we're done grading those, if they're all 9/8s, we'll hit this shop owner back up, see if we can get more. So there's that one, and then the last one, issue 84, has been really tough to find. We're talking 5, 6, 7, 8 copies on the census. The print runs weren't super high. People weren't grading these books, and they weren't taking care of them. So to try to complete a registry set has not been easy. 15 years ago, when we started this registry collection, these 9/8s were going for $40, $50. Nobody cared. 9/9s were going for $200 or $300. Nobody really cared. Now 9/8s going, like, if you're under $100 for a 9/8 from Volume 2, you're doing pretty good. Asking prices for these are typically like $180 on eBay. He definitely worked with me when he saw that we were trying to complete the set and saw how long we've been doing it, and really cool. So some people might be like, Andy, you're crazy for driving 5 hours on a Saturday morning round trip just to go pick up 3 slabs. I'm like, yeah, but if you paid packing and shipping, I saved the guy probably a half an hour to packing and shipping and labeling, all that other stuff. And I'm like, let me just drive over there and meet the guy. And sure enough, he's going to be that in for more of these slabs in the future. So that was a really good relationship to build.
That's awesome,
bro.
Yeah, that touches me in the sense, kind of like a nostalgia does, to find a true fan of the Punisher and that volume.
Yeah,
that's cool. Hey, Andy, when you do the Michigan thing, do you say like, "Hey, I was here and I drove here"?
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. We do that. And then, I mean, if you want to, you can do that with the UP as well too.
Yeah, and then the joke goes, and then I ran into a Buckeye and got smashed.
Oh God.
Not this year or last
year. Yeah. All right, who wants to go next?
Andy didn't think that was too fun.
I'll go. I'll do a quick one.
What do you got, man? You had the biggest pickup of the year and biggest flip of the year too.
So huge shout out to AA Ron in the Discord group. He won a giveaway that I did, and he reached out to me and he was like, "Hey, I really appreciate it. I want to send you something back." So he sent me 3 books, but the jewel for me in that was the Ghost Racers. This is the number 4 1 in 20. I've been looking for this book forever, and he sent me this book, and so I have to tell him thank you still, but I can't believe that this was one of the books that he sent me.
Yeah, so, that and the Alejandro Jones, Neil Adams are like the 2 I'm always looking for.
Nice. Yeah, so thank you. Like, that's insane. Like, I opened the package and I was like, okay. I got this Captain 7. This is from Brazil. I love this. This is a dope robot cover.
Yeah.
This is from 1960. The art is by Gabriel Roca. So this was like Brazilian's version of Superman, pretty much. He started out as like a kind of like a sci-fi character, but then, you know, they did like Superman. He could fly, strength, all that stuff. So super badass robot cover. I don't know if Andy has this, but this might make him cry right here. So this is the Mexican.
Oh my God!
Send it to him.
They have a Mexican version of it.
This is the Mexican, The Last of Us.
Okay, I've got money right now. I still have a little money. Are there copies available elsewhere, or was this just a one of one that you found somewhere?
This is the first one I've had of this. I would check around and see if you can find one. I haven't personally.
Son of a biscuit! This is turning into the saga thing too, because now there's like Peruvian saga.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try and cover this up, but I picked up 2 of the
nice
nudies that dropped, and then I got 3 more of the Brazilian Something is Killing the Children floppies. So yeah,
not
that
bad.
is
Those things are
me.
selling for a nice clip right now too. So shout out to Yeezy on that one, man. All right, Richie, you got any pickups?
I'm not buying comics this month, just a couple of the FOC orders because of Christmas, and I have a son and a big family now. But I have some card hits that I didn't talk about on cam, so I can show a couple of those. And Brian mentioned at the beginning of the show, we talk about this later, that I pulled Brian or pulled a McClay, and this was kind of like a card breakers PSA. Once you start doing this and you're creating content, you're breaking cards on content, no matter how addicted you might be to open that box off camera, don't goddamn do it.
He's totally right, dude.
Because every freaking time, man, it's like, and hey, I'm not complaining about the card gods giving me cards when nobody's looking, but you know, you don't ever want to put your word in question, especially when we're posting shit. And I don't know, but anyways, my dad is in a little bit of rough shape. He's feeling a little better right now, which is cool, but he was up all night, and I ended up pulling this because I couldn't sleep. It was like 3 a.m. Well, I was half asleep, but then I was wide awake and I couldn't go back to sleep. And I said, do I want to set my camera up and go into the whole thing all loud? And I go, nah, I'm just going to open this this Topps Archives blaster box. I'm not going to get anything anyways. And then I pull a fucking redemption. I mean, it's just like ridiculous, dude. And it's like a super short print variation of those postcards insert, and it's autographed by Vladdy Jr. And on top of that,
of course it is. I mean,
Topps just replied to me because it doesn't have the number on it. Just replied that it's in process. I got the email and I went and checked it, and they did the parentheses, their own kind of deal with the 2 brackets, so with the slash. So it's going to be numbered too.
Nice.
Not
Hell
bad,
yeah.
dude. That's awesome, dude.
Hey,
That's
have you ever
great.
gotten your LaMelo auto?
Oh gosh, man, I check every single day. I must have left them like 9, maybe 10 emails, all of them real nice and professional.
Where's my card?
That has a potential to be a freaking enormous card because it's either a 101 or a 1 of 10. Because that's the only 2 numbers. They didn't go to 99. They just were no number. And when they sent me back that it was in process and that it was numbered, I was like, holy shit. So this is either an orange 1 of 10 LaMelo Ball rookie card auto, or this is a 1 of 1, and that has potential. How do you even match that? But yeah, I've been checking. Nobody's replying to me. I even tweeted and or Instagrammed, and I've been hitting LaMelo up. I even wrote a fucking email to Michael Jordan because I thought he's still.
Well, he's not playing, so fix his ankle. I mean, he's got plenty of time.
Dude, I even wrote a fucking email that's in my drafts. I ended up not sending it to Michael Jordan because I thought he fucking owned the Charlotte goddamn.
Well, he does. He's the Michael Jordan of shitty owners.
I almost pulled it. Well, I almost pulled a Tim M and wrote Jay-Z a letter about CGC because he owns it, you know. But anyways, but yeah, I mean, I've been checking every day. So I got a phone number that works, and I've been checking the internet, putting LaMelo signing cards, this and that. Well, found a phone number that actually has a Panini rep with redemptions on the other side, and the guy says they will answer.
Hey, Richie, just to kind of give you an idea, so you guys know the Topps now. So last year, do you remember when Correa hit the home run against the Red Sox and looked at and points at his wrist because he was pointing like it's my time? I bought the Topps Now auto of Carlos Correa. That was October 10th of last year. Don't have it yet. I've called Topps so many times, and the last guy I talked to, he was very upfront, very honest. He's like, "Hey man, we don't have any of them either." He's like, "We're waiting just like you are." He's like, "Some guys they're a pain in the ass to sign," and I was like, "All right, that's all I need to know." I'm like,
"Yeah."
I thought I just had never gotten it, or he was like, "No." He's like, "No one's gotten it. This guy is just a pain in the ass." I'm like, "Okay, I get it now."
Wow. Wow. All right. I have one pickup, and I'm bummed that our boy Yeezy isn't here for this because he's been excited to see me get this for a couple weeks now, and I finally grabbed it from Anthony over at Bird City. Yeezy bought this for me in Baltimore, and it was such a great surprise when Anthony handed it to me because I totally forgot that I asked somebody to pick one of these up for me if they saw it. And if you guys remember, the Baltimore Comic-Con poster, beautiful, absolutely gorgeous.
Wow, that's so you too.
It's like the psychedelic blacklight posters back in the day.
Yeah. Nice job, Easy.
Yeah, that's awesome.
This is it's numbered and signed. Marty, I guess it says Marty. It's signed right here.
Very cool.
cool. Yeah, dude, beautiful, beautiful art. So I'm probably gonna frame it and throw it in the background just because it's so beautiful. So shout out to my boy Yeezy Yee, one of a kind for sure. That was just absolutely amazing. And you know, those type of gifts where you're just so surprised and you know, like Josh got, like I got the act of kindness the other day with the Marvel cards. Like those are so important and they mean so much. So
Like the Brian McClay when he sends me the one card I've been wanting for the longest time.
yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah.
Is that fuckface? Fuckface?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
All right. A couple of things that I want to talk about before we bail. A couple social media Instagram posts that I saw that were pretty interesting, and then I got a couple artists that I want to show. You guys know I like to show the art and stuff like that. And we only have a couple this week. There wasn't much that I saw that I kind of put to the side and stuff like that. So hold on here.
Just so you know, I got to talk to you after the show, but that Art by Fitz guy that I showed you that stuff of, he wants to come on the show. So
well, yeah, hell yeah, let's get him on. That's awesome. Yeah, that guy was awesome. If you guys didn't see that, go watch last week's show. We talked about his stuff. It was absolutely great. So, all right, some Instagram posts. This blew me away. As Richie was talking about card stuff. I've talked about what happened with Topps Chrome baseball this year. And basically, they screwed up 4 ways to screw up a product that I never thought any company could do. And in order to make up for it, they made these silver packs, right, that they sent out to people. And what's crazy is not only can you get like the short prints and the silver packs, but you can also get these crazy cards they've had sitting around the Topps vault, you know, like redemptions that they never sent out and stuff like this. And people are pulling crazy cards out of it. Look at what this guy pulled out of a Topps silver pack on a break. This is crazy. Check it out.
No way. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
That is a 2017 Bowman red numbered to 5 Aaron Judge rookie auto.
Wow.
Oh my. Oh my.
It's like me. Oh my god.
No words. No words. Bogarts.
Yeah, so that is absolutely crazy. Again, if Topps did anything right, which is it's hard to give them credit for anything, putting some of those old cool cards in there is cool. But part of me is like, I wish they went to the people who pulled the redemptions for them. Like somebody's going to pull a redemption out of 2017 product, and you know what I mean? But it's just weird. But to get it in one of those silver packs makes me want to go open the 8 silver packs I have sitting unopened. But I'm gonna keep them unopened. I'm gonna do my best to keep those unopened. So it's pretty cool that you can pull those crazy things out of there. All right, here's another really cool thing that I saw that we're going to talk about on the radar also is Hallmark ornaments. And these are new Hallmark ornaments this year that you can get. And they're the old school Super Nintendo system console and the Sega Genesis console miniature versions that are Hallmark Christmas ornaments. So absolutely great idea right here. I want to know if the controllers like are actual like cords and stuff, and you know they look like it, so looks very cool. So I'm going to be on the lookout for these. I think that these could be great collectible items. So be on the lookout for these. Hallmark ornaments sell for a ton. Some of them are some of the easiest flips that you're going to make. And if you guys don't know already, we have the On the Radar Discord group that you guys can join right now. Tons and tons of information in On the Radar Discord group. Here is a link if you guys want to be invited. Let me go ahead and copy this. I'll put it in the live chat. There is a link in the live chat. I'll also put a link to be invited in the description of the video for everybody out there that wants to join the Discord group. So much information in here, you guys. news about sports cards, about comics, about video games, easy flip items, and just great cornbread out there that you can get for free. Action figure stuff, all kinds of information on the Radar Discord group. Help yourself get your Grail. One of the things that we're going to do is we're going to try and help each other get our Grail. So we're going to make a little section that talks about, what's your Grail. That way, if somebody has it out there that they don't want it as much as you do, we can figure out a way to get you your Grail and those bounties that you're looking for. And of course, you guys know my bounty right now is the Spirit Weekly from September of 1947. So I'm going to be making a bounty for that for sure. But very, very cool Discord group. Go check it out. We're also at some point going to be using that Discord group shortly for people to call into the show and talk to us just like a radio show. We're going to have a call-in section, and you guys can ask us questions and all kinds of stuff. So,
dude, it's such a great group.
Yeah, it's awesome.
But it's also bad because now it has me looking at all these other things, and I'm like, it makes me want to spend way too much money.
Yeah, I'm with you. So, all right, let's get into some of this art. You guys know I love the AI art, right? And we've been showing this guy quite frequently, Chris Perna on IG. He's just got some amazing AI art stuff that he's been, putting out on his IG. Just beautiful stuff. And this all comes from Midjourney. You guys know, if you guys want to get into the Midjourney AI art thing, you need to use Discord for that. We showed that the other week. A lot of people got introduced to the Midjourney AI art generator through last week's show and have been sending me their AI art that they've been making on it themselves, and it's just so easy and so fun, and it's very interesting. So check out Midjourney. Also go check out Chris Perna on IG for some of his renderings that he's been making on Midjourney. Just beautiful stuff. Absolutely gorgeous. I mean, if you go look at his page, look at this stuff right here. I mean, it's called The Deal. The Deal with the Devil. Oh, man.
Oh, wow.
It looks so good. I just can't believe that, this is all rendered with words and queries on the internet, So that one's great. That's called The Deal. So Deal with the Devil. And this is called Necromantic Musings. So, oh my God. Just so good. Yeah. So one of the things that we've been talking about with this, of course, is the comics. We talked about the Abolition of Man, and a couple other comics are starting to do this. And, Boss Logic talked about it, and, kind of walking that fine line that AI art is. But one of the things that we talked about on this channel was using the AI art and song lyrics, right? Well, check this out, you guys. One of my favorite all-time bands or musical acts is The Far Side. And this IG site started taking songs and making AI art videos. So this is pretty interesting. Check this out.
In the bag with the apple for my teacher, cause I knew I get a kiss. Always got mad when the class was dismissed, but when it was a session, I always had a question. I would raise my hand to make a check through my chest. Can you help me with my problem? It was never much. Just a trick to spell a hit and try to sneak a touch. Oh,
so good.
Now in my younger days, I used to sport a shag. When I went to school, I carry like.
So he does this on a lot of songs where he makes these little AI videos out of them. It's just fascinating. So go check it out. Very, very cool. So it's OMA.UK. There's Hood. What's up, brother?
What's up, guys? What did I miss?
We haven't started yet.
90% of the show you missed, but it's all good, bro. We're glad to see you,
I'm sorry, man. Like,
no, don't be
I had to
sorry,
take care
bro.
of some shit at work, so.
No worries, brother. No
Were you
worries.
the one getting DeGrom signed to the Rangers?
No, man, that's ridiculous. Hey, I just wanted to say real quick, I saw Brian posted Tim and the I would just say, like, when he was rambling and he mentioned CBSI, I assumed he was talking about Ben C.
Yeah. Hey, you don't have to explain yourself, Hood. I think
Yeah.
if anybody, bro, I think you were one of the few people you could tell a couple of times you made comments where it was like you could tell you were like, this guy seems full of shit. Like there was one time when you were like, he was saying how he's gonna drop out all this information. You're like, let me go get a pen. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
You're like, you could totally tell that you were kind of like, what's going on here? But it was so ridiculous. And for those of you guys that don't know what we're talking about, it's also what I talked about in the beginning of the show. If you guys didn't see it last night at the beginning of the Hot 10, I mentioned that there was a show that Thorough did on his channel, where he brought on this guy, and I love that Thorough does this. I think it's something that is great, and we're going to continue to do also with the call-ins and stuff like that. But this guy decided to make a comment saying, I've got all this information, let me tell you about it. And so Thorough brought him on.
Mm-hmm.
And he made some really stupid comments, man. And for those of you guys that didn't see it, here you go. Tim at Comic Core Promotions. If you really want to back up what you're saying, you have an open spot on Modern Comic Mayhem on Saturday nights. Let's get you on. This guy goes by Tim. Comic Core Promotions is the name of his retailer group or something like this. It's this guy right here in the bottom middle square, okay? And he basically said, he typed in Thorough's chat, anyone can hop in. If you want real inside, you saw my doc. I'm happy to give you guys more info. And I guess he said he made a doc on the C2E2 shit. He didn't say anything that people didn't already say. Like, he acts like he's like got all this inside information. He sounds like such a moron. And this is the type of shit that really pissed me off.
And the worst part that happened with UF4 is that the hype that it got.
Yep.
The hype that he got is because of all these top 10 people, like the CBSIs and the Comic Toms of the world, and that fat guy that lost 200 pounds. What was it? Comic Gem. Essentially, they are paid. Okay, 100%. So essentially, those guys are paid. 100% CBSI. I can use CBSI as an example. They are 100% paid. Okay, they get paid to put your book, your exclusive covers, to be part of the top 10, or they will make an article about your book.
Ben, are you paid to do anything on CBSI? I love how he writes nope. There we go. There we go. There's the first part about it, right?
Okay. All you have to do is pay them a certain amount or bribe them with exclusive variant covers signed by the artists.
Ben, did this guy bribe you with any exclusive variant covers signed by the artist?
And this is 100% true. And how do I know this is true? Because when I was a little green in thumb doing exclusive variant covers, I have hired CBSI and actually get my X Factor #1 by Scott Williams part of their top 10.
And here's the thing. I went and looked at every single top 10, Hot 10, CBSI Hot 10 list from the year of 2020. And not in any of those lists was that X Factor book on there. His X Factor book, I believe it came out in April of 2020. And there was, if you look it up, as a matter of fact, here, let's do it right now. If you look it up, let's take a look here. X Factor.
Shit's making my blood boil.
Right? Scott Williams, CBSI.
This was recently on Thorough's channel, right?
Yeah, like he just popped on out of nowhere, and I think that night Thorough had like the link was available, anybody could jump on, and so I was surprised, and this guy was talking like Deep Throat, like he had all the inside info, and like he was dropping like bombs, and some of the stuff was just so far out there, and I was just like, wow, like, okay.
Yeah, there was a couple of times you could tell where you were like, dude, are you serious? Like the comments you made, you could totally tell you were like, are you kidding me? What are you
And I
talking
think one time I told him, hey, dude, I think you need to lock the front door, bro. You know?
Yeah.
So full of shit.
Yeah.
So full of shit.
This is in August of 2020. They gave away some of the books. So I imagine what happened is something along the lines of, you know, he contacted CBSI, said, hey, let me give you some of these books to give away. And I'm sure, you know, CBSI wrote an article about it. I have nothing wrong with them writing an article about a book if they're going to give away a book, you know, that type of thing. And this is it right here. Not a single Hot 10 list from 2020 does this book show up on the list. I
think your first problem is Vandy comic fan. So,
yeah,
I mean, that says it all. Vandy.
Yeah.
So just I mean, from a credibility standpoint, just like, man, if you're gonna make that kind of statement and you can't even prove that you were on a top 10, you know, on the CBSI list, I mean, it's like
that's
God
published every
damn.
week. And there you can just go back
I
and
mean,
Google it, and you can watch
that's
the
the thing,
videos.
man.
and-
Like, you know, pictures, videos. I mean, they tell the whole story, you know. I mean,
yeah, not only that, like you're right, Hood. If you're going to make those type of claims, you need to have receipts. And that over the last couple of years, that's something that the entire world has been made well aware of, that you need to show those receipts. You need to show those direct messages, you know, because we can all go back and find those DMs. You need to show those direct messages. You need to show the contract, if you made some type of contract with CBSI. And you're right, Hood, because he kept on getting, and I said this in the thing last night, that he kept on getting the Bens mixed up where I don't even think he realizes there's two Bens. So and I understand if he talked to Ben C, but he did. I asked Stein, did you ever talk to this guy at this time period? He said no. What I do know is this guy was running his mouth back during the C2E2 thing and gave Stein a bunch of shit for putting the C2E2 book on the Hot 10. And Stein said, hey, let's started talking to him and having a discourse. And the guy blocked him and Mel. And then it comes out that this guy is buying bots for views and likes on all of his social media accounts, which is absolutely crazy, silly. If anybody thinks for a second that buying bots is going to help you or buying views is going to help you, guess what? When you don't have that money to pay for those anymore, it throws up a red flag to people saying, hold on. You just had a drop in views of 20,000 views out of nowhere for 4 weeks in a row, or 20,000 likes for 4 weeks in a row. You've been paying, and you're going to immediately be ostracized from the community if you get found out for buying views or buying likes or buying any of that stuff, yet alone not having the receipts to prove it. So again, Tim, I know that you're seeing all this. People, just like in our communities and every community out there, somebody is contacting, going, hey, have you seen this? Tim, you have a seat available here to show those receipts. If you can't show those receipts, you have no name in this community anymore. Your name is mud. It's nothing if you can't show those receipts. And I will continue to talk about you like your name is nothing until you show those receipts. But if you do have those receipts, let's see them, and let's get your name back out there and put it in a positive. Because right now you're taking a lot of L's, my friend, and you sound really, really bad in that interview. You sound like you really don't know what you're talking about, like you think you know what you're talking about. 90% of the stuff that you say in there is stuff that we've known for years. It's nothing special. So again, this is to everybody out there that buys stuff with them. Here's a perfect example. If this was Bird City Comics, right, that this happened to, as close as I am to Bird City Comics and this happened, I would be saying this about Bird City Comics. If this happened to Wanted Comics, I would be saying this to Wanted Comics, right? You cannot do this. There is something about your name and having a credibility in this community. You have none right now because of this. Show us the receipts. Let's see them. Otherwise, you just might as well rebrand your label, everything about it. So
yeah, I looked at his IG. He had like 65,000, and I was like, God damn, like, did you date a Kardashian, bro?
Yeah.
Like, holy shit.
Yeah,
Like, how do you
absolutely.
do that? And like, if you have that many followers, why are you jumping on other people's podcasts? Shouldn't
Yeah.
people be clamoring to jump on yours?
Yes.
Like,
Yes. Yeah.
so
100%.
I just say, you know, like, I hate the fact that everything always falls back to like a Ben S, like in the top 10, you know,
Yeah.
because like, and I've said it before, like Ben, like put a book, say, I don't know why this book is at number 5, like, you know, I'm like, shit, yeah, I got the book, right? And I'm pumped, right? He's talking about my book, and then he goes, but I wouldn't buy it. You know, and I was like, "Fuck, Ben."
He's got a way that he does. It's credibility, right? It's character. He's gonna say the same thing he said about the C2E2 book, right? There's no way that you could not have that on a hot list. Everybody was talking about that book. Is it hot for a good reason? No. Is it hot because it's a cool book and you should be buying it? No. It was hot for stupid reasons, but it deserved to be talked about that week. And guess what? If we're going to talk about it and it's a terrible book, we're going to say that we think it's terrible. You know, unfortunately, there's a lot of books that happens to. Do they continue to hold value? Well, that's to be seen in the future. You know, we'll see. It's again, you know, I hate to talk about, you know, bring up the whole honesty in comics things again, but it's just honesty in general and having credibility in general, and you know, not looking like an idiot, especially in the world of social media where everybody has their 15 minutes of fame. And you know, if your 15 minutes of fame ends up turning into 15 minutes of infamy, you know, like of you sounding like a moron, like you sounded, then there's a problem. And if you don't have those receipts, then there's an even bigger problem. And if you have the receipts, let's see them. I'll be the first one to come out and say, hey, I was wrong. He has the receipts. But until that happens, again, your name's mud.
Yeah,
So,
you know, when people first come out and they say things like that, it's always like the bigger the lie, the more people will believe it, right? So,
yes.
Yeah, you have that first, but then the aftermath. Well, like, is this true? And then, like, is it worth it at the end of the day to make these claims and then them not be true? Like,
yeah,
I just like,
yeah. So, and Wookie Fodder asked, do people really care about credit in the community though? They still sell books, so what do they care? That's the problem. And you're right, Wookie Fodder. I think that's why we need to bring it up. I think that's why we need to say, like, hey, this company is selling this book, and you remember this company pulled this shit back at this time, right? You know, I talk about Sports Card Radio all the
it's
time.
just like Ken Golden, right?
Yep, it's like Ken Golden. Yep, exactly, Hood. And Sports Card Radio, you know, gets a lot of shit for how they handle things, but you know what? I respect the hell out of them because they hold people accountable, and they have a list on their website that says, "Hey, these are the guys who have done fucked up shit in the past, and here's what they did, and it's been proven, and here are the receipts." Right? They have the receipts. They have the DMs. They have the messages of Ken Golden calling them and threatening them, and then in the next message trying to kiss their ass, and then a week later trying to sue them. Like, it's very interesting. It's very interesting. And the collectibles community has been on a wild ride over the last couple of years. And I don't know about you guys, but I like this community. I like the friends I have. I like the people that I talk to. I love the people that are part of the content creation sphere. And I want to keep that community clean. I want to keep that community, you know, strong. And I don't want to be hanging around with fucking people that do shit like that. I would never want to hang around with people in any world that has no credibility or no character like that, yet alone this world, you know, where we just like to come and talk about cool shit. So
real quick, Brian, can I say something?
Yeah.
Real quick.
Uh-huh.
So, like, I was on Thorough's show and I said something, and I said I was going to bring it up here. Where would we be if at C2E2 nobody cut in line?
Bro, that's a great question.
Where would we be? because
question.
that's how this shit got started, right?
Yeah,
the optics of, hey, that person's getting more of that book, and I had to wait in line. And if that never happens, where are we right now?
Well, I'll tell you what, that's a great point, Hood. If somebody didn't call it out, if somebody didn't say something, no, whether right or wrong,
Right.
you know,
But where would
took
we be?
somebody-
Because that book, for some reason, just because of the name of the book, there's no other book that, yeah, there was some fuckery at other books, but not like this book. That is like a kind of, I don't want to be sacrilegious, but that the Ultimate Fallout is kind of considered for our time right now as like, you don't fuck with that book, right? So it's where would we be if nobody cut in line that day, or
Where would we be
assume, right?
Where would we be if Black Flag did the 1 per person or 2 per person
Right.
that was standard status quo for
Right.
C2E2 for years?
Yeah, if they had some credibility, if they had some quote unquote honor, if they had some good character, it wouldn't be as negative as it is right now. It wouldn't be
Right.
as positive as it is right now.
Think about what it caused, right? Just that one day, what it caused us to be where we are right now. The backstabbing, the accusations, the back and forth, the he's good, he's not, it just created such an ugliness over the hobby that it's like, one singular day, if that doesn't happen, are we talking about Whatnot the way we are now? Are we talking about, just in general, all the crazy things, now sports cards is a different story, but they've had a long history of forgeries and in the 90s, and it just but comic books is different. We've never had to deal with so many different dynamics, like with individuals and stores. Yeah. So this, we've dealt with something like, but not to this level. So just one day caused all of this to happen.
Yeah, it's like a domino effect, right?
Mhm.
That's why they always say, that your one decision that you can make, right? In that time, that split second where you in your head go, your conscience, right? The devil and the angel on your shoulders, right? So in that one split second where you say, maybe I can get away with it, boom, your that whole decision right there. So that's the thing. If we don't call this out, and I get it, you guys, there's going to be times where we make mistakes and we call out the wrong people. It happens all the time in social media. But just like we hold people accountable for making the right choices, we have to hold ourselves accountable to where when we make the mistakes, we say, hey, we made a mistake. This guy is on the up and up. This happened. Here's the proof. We have to hold ourselves accountable for that too. And that's going to happen. Trust me, it is going to happen. And that's okay. That's okay. As long as, we make it right by saying, hey, this guy is on the up and up. This guy, it might not look good. And at the same point, if you're ever in that situation where you are called out and you have to be able to say, I understand it. I get it. I get, it didn't look good. And I don't hold you in any disregard, because of it. It didn't look good. And, I would have probably thought the same thing. Like, we have to be able to do that. I always say that one of the best qualities in a person that I see is when that person is in a conversation or they're asked a hard subject and either they say, I don't know my feelings on that, or if they say that they can make a mistake and stuff like that. That is a very, very telling thing to me. So, we got to be better. Everybody's got to be better. We got to hold people accountable. We have to, not do it in a way where we're just looking for drama for drama's sake. That's another thing. Like, you have to walk a fine line. And us as content creators, it's tough. That's why I don't hold anybody like truly accountable that was on that show, especially like Thorough. Like, I understand what Thorough was doing. Thorough was giving somebody the ability, the platform to show the proof, to show.
Yeah, he had been hitting Thorough up. I had seen it one of the chats, that guy Tim, and I remember Thorough saying, "Yeah, this guy wants to come on. He's got some information or something like that." So I can just imagine him telling Thorough, "I got all this stuff," and and
Yeah.
Thorough's a fair guy. He'll give you a chance
Yes.
to. He's kind of like you. He'll give you a chance to say your piece or whatever. But
And I
Yeah.
hit up Thorough. I hit him up behind the scenes, and I was like, "Hey, I want to get in touch with the guy. Can you reach out to him and see if he'll talk to me?" And he gave me his information, and he said contact him, and it was crickets. I heard nothing from the dude. So
Yeah, I understand giving him a chance, but he didn't bring any, like, again, receipts or anything. Like, this is the same guy that made those. I think he made 2 YouTube videos a while ago, and like he just parroted the same stuff he said in his YouTube videos with no proof either.
and again, the YouTube videos that he did make, I watched them. It was nothing that anybody else had said any different. He acted like
Yeah.
he made this huge expose. Bro, you were just repeating what every other talking head, including myself, said, and everybody on this panel said at some point that week. Like, one of the funny things he said in that whole thing is he acted like he was giving people this crazy information, this crazy behind the scenes information that if you're a retailer, you don't pay full price for a book. He was like, you only pay $175 for a $350 book. Like, and it was like, yeah, we know that, dude. Everybody knows that. Then he acted like it was big information that if you do an exclusive, you get all the ratios too. We know that. That's been known.
And he claimed to be in touch with somebody at Sony or something like that. He's got some inside scoop. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I guess it's one of those 65,000 followers or something. Like,
exactly.
Did he get the waterproof headphones, the yellow ones from 1987?
Yeah, no kidding, right?
I mean, but
I remember those.
Yeah, I mean, what all the stuff you guys are talking about. I mean, it's just like the covers and everything. Like, everyone wants to wash their hands, but it's like saying, "Hey, I'm clean because I wash my hands because the whorehouse I go to gives manicures."
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Hey, that's good, Nate.
I like that one.
The only thing I'll say that I don't like is when he was making fun of Gem Mint.
Yeah, because
Thorough didn't shut that down. So it's one thing to call out somebody for being like shitty, but it's a different thing to just be shitty and make fun of someone for losing
Personal
weight.
attacks. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't need that.
Yeah, because as soon as you start making personal attacks, you've lost the battle.
Yeah.
Not only have you lost the battle, the battle you're in, but you've lost the battle of people taking your side. As soon as you start making personal attacks, I know that one, you're angry or you're butthurt about something, or what you're saying can't stand on its own.
Yep.
So, yeah. All right. Before we end the show, I'll do my little art thing, but I'm glad Hood jumped in because Hood's got 2 pickups behind him that I want to talk about. We talked about on the radar, and he's got his miles boxes behind him.
See, I always look at his box that he's not showing of all the basketball cards that he's.
Yeah.
So I opened one, but look how Target shout out Target.
Man.
I could just leave it in the box, bro.
Yes.
I wonder if that makes it worth more with
Target
steal.
Joe, I will tell you this. I had ordered the Batman, the McFarlanes, and I got one that was fine, and the other one was smashed once I opened the box. Like someone almost like figuratively put their hand through it.
That looks really good.
That looks great.
Dude, look at that. Look at that
Yeah, it
little
looks
guy.
awesome.
Love me some Miles, man.
Yeah. Miles is great.
Remember, you remember when things were right in the world and Jim Lee was doing comic books, huh?
Wow.
Let's not let this year be determined on one bad day. You know what I mean?
Yes. Amen.
Yeah, I think we've all learned a lot. I think the collecting community's kind of learned a lot. Buy what you like, but don't overspend on what you like. Like don't pay too much and then you're realizing, man, you have regrets. It's like, man, why did I do that? Think about that, because you like collecting, but don't you want to collect something that's going to retain at least what you paid for it? at the very least.
Yeah,
So
that's why a lot of people, it's a big deal to, if you have an unopened box of cards, it's worth more 90% of the time unopened, because what could be in it than what is in it, right? So,
Unless Brian or like Yee or Richie opens it, when Brian, I mean, the whole thing about the tops, like the baseball, well, they fuck everything up, but somehow magically, I mean, it's just incredible.
Yeah.
Like
It's going to come to
it's going Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's going to lose its power, man.
Hey, this one has the Ted Williams DNA card.
Like, just wait a year and then crack open a one of one. It's like every other week. Oh shit, I got it. Like, how many times can Charlie Bucket get the golden ticket? This guy gets the golden ticket every other week, man. Oh man.
I'm currently putting together mystery packs for basketball this year, for the mystery packs for basketball this year, and I'm going through all the old stuff that I opened in 2019, and a lot of those rookies, the Cam Reddish, the Bowles, the John Morant's, the Jordan Pools, the Zions, and these guys. Trey talked about it on Wednesday about how these guys that were all rookies then are now coming into like being men, right?
Playing well.
And they're playing well, and now's the time. So it's hard. I think that it's going to be fun, and I'm going to put that golden ticket back in to those things and give somebody the chance to win those golden tickets. But all right, let's get into the art thing before I call it a night. If you guys remember, I talked about this guy last week. He goes by KHVLTVS on Instagram. And this was a piece of art he did called The Vengeful, which is absolutely amazing. But look at this. He came out with this week. Absolutely beautiful, just creepy. Internal Anatomy, he calls it. It was made through Midjourney. We all love our Midjourney. Just use it for the right reasons. Don't act like you're an actual artist and you're drawing this stuff. But beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff.
Hey, I got to interrupt you real quick. So I got you this. I hit you up in the chat, and so Sex Panther, bro. Look at that. To go with so you needed a little pal for Joe Boo, right? So, and I got one sealed coming your way, right? So I told you I would find them. Look at that motherfucker, bro. It smells like Bigfoot's dick, bro.
60% of the time.
It's a timer, bro. It's a timer. Look at that. And it lets out little queeps.
So for those of you guys that don't know what that is, then you have a problem. But here, just to get another copyright strike, care of
gasoline?
Red Hood, care of Red Hood.
I'll give this little cookie an hour before we're doing the no pants dance. Yep. Wow. Amaze me. What cologne are you gonna go with? London Gentleman or wait? No. Hold on. Blackbeard's Delight. The special cologne. It's called Sex Panther by Odeon. It's illegal in 9 countries. Yep. It's made with bits of real panther. So you know it's good. It's quite pungent. It's a formidable scent. Stings the nostrils. In a good way. Yeah.
Joe.
Brian, I'm going to be honest with you. That smells like pure gasoline. 60% of the time, it works every time. That doesn't make sense. Let's go see if we can make this little kitty purr.
Oh, Joe, man.
I told you I was going to get it for you, bro. I got it.
Oh, I love it. All right, here's another guy I talked about last week, Ipway Chang. He did an amazing Spider-Man drawing and had a community member reach out to me saying that he really liked that Spider-Man drawing, and he hit him up, and then he saw this, and he ended up having to get this, which is the Miles drawing that he did, which is just awesome. Great sketch. Love sketch art that is done well. And this is Ipway Chang. He just does some amazing stuff. So go check him out on IG. This is a badass shirt that I love. This art. You guys know I love eyeball art and skull art and stuff like that. And this is Charlie Brown with just an eyeball as a head. And I thought that was awesome. So great art right there. This is beautiful. This is Glenn Arthur art. I've showed him on the show before. He has these awesome wood prints that he does and does some cool black light stuff. But man, look at this. This stuff is just beautiful. Gorgeous stuff. So he needs to. I told Bird City that they need to jump on this guy and figure out some type of way to get some Glenn Arthur art on some comic books. But finally, to end out the show tonight, I want to give a big shout out to my good friend Jordan Earl, who is my best friend's girlfriend. Shout out to my best friend Keith and my co-host on the podcast. His girlfriend is so talented and just started painting about a year ago and has been painting these amazing animal portraits, dog portraits, and she puts it out to the public every year for December for Christmas gifts. So if you're interested, go check her out. She goes by Foshizel on
I love it.
Yeah. So this is some of her art, just absolutely beautiful. And you guys can see she only be doing art for about a year and a half now. She's really good at what she does, and she does personal dog prints and portraits and stuff like that, and just really good. If you guys want to get something done, I love these. She does these specifically, and she does, cool little things. So she does stickers too, if you're interested in the stickers and stuff like that. Really cool stuff. Foshizel on IG. And my favorite one that she did, of course, is my baby girl Abby. That's my dog Abby right there, and she nailed it. So good. I was so happy and just warmed the heart to receive this last year when she gave it to me. And there's something about our dogs and our pets that makes
Look
us
at those
smile.
eyes.
Yeah, man.
That's good poops, man.
Yeah.
It really shows it in her art. So go check her out. Here's a link for her Instagram if anybody wants to check her out. Again, her Instagram is Foshizel. I'm gonna go ahead and put a link in the live chat. I'll also put her link in the description below the video. So that being said, you guys, we're going to finish a show before the 3-hour mark for a first time in a long time. So much love to everybody out there. What do we got coming up this week? Tomorrow, I'm probably going to have my Cosmic Marvel sale. So check that out. That's on Whatnot. You can go check it out. It's already go bookmark it. I'm going to be doing tons of Adam Warlock, tons of Guardians of the Galaxy, tons of Silver Surfer and Thanos and Galactus and just cosmic Marvel stuff. So if you guys want to get in some of that stuff before the movie hits, this is your perfect chance. So that'll be tomorrow, I think around like 8 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to be doing it. So check that out. Monday night. You guys got anything going on Monday night? Anything? No. Okay.
I will soon. As The Last of Us starts coming out.
There we go. Tuesday night, Comic News Weekly over at Simple Man's. Wednesday night, On the Radar. You can find that every Wednesday night here on this channel. Thursday night, the Bogcast live on the Bogcast and also on Nearing Nirvana. You can find Long Story Short. And then, of course, Friday night, go check out Nearing Nirvana on Friday night, as well as the Hot 10 on House of Stein. And, of course, every Saturday night, you guys can find us right here on Modern Comic Mayhem. Much love to everybody out there. Happy holidays. If we don't see you throughout the rest of the month, happy holidays. Spend some time with your family. Give some love to some loved ones. And if you're down and feeling like you don't have somebody to talk to right now and you're going through some shit, reach out to somebody. Find that one friend. Everybody has that one person, I hope, that they can talk to, that they can, get some good advice from. And, this too shall pass if you're going through it right now, just like everything else. It's something that we all deal with. And if it gets really down, go give the suicide hotline a call. it can help. It's helped a lot of people, including people like me in the past. It's worth it. Check it out. All right, you guys, much love. We will see you next time. Adios.
Still waiting on that heifer, Julio. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. You're cool. You're cool. You're cool. And fuck you, I'm out.